Good afternoon. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my new book, The Third Pillar: How the State and Markets Hold the Community Behind. The book starts by recognizing that early in history, the community used to be the focus of almost all economic activity. And it also used to be where government was located. You had the village headman, the head of the tribe, who essentially adjudicated all disputes. Now, over time, markets grew and went outside the community. You traded with other communities, you traded with other nations. And also governance went out of the community. The village headman was no longer the most important person in the country. It was the king or the central government. And the book essentially says that a variety of activities over time, even in recent times, have gone out of the community. So, for example, in even 100 years ago, it used to be that if a baby had to be delivered, your neighbors used to come around, neighboring women, and they'd help deliver the baby. Today, of course, you go to a hospital, you don't trust your neighbors to deliver your child for you. Similarly, social insurance. It used to be that if you fell on hard times, other people in the village would come around and help you. Even most recently with the textile workers strike in Mumbai, when the workers found they had no jobs in Mumbai, they went back to their villages. So the community has always been also a source of safety net. These things again have diminished as the government has become much more of a source. Certainly in Western countries, it's the source of social insurance. So the broader point is many of the activities within the community have been taken out, and the community as a result has shrunk. Nevertheless, the community is really very important, for example, in determining the quality of schools and ensuring that schools teach the children in the community well. There's a lot of community monitoring that goes on in healthy communities to ensure that this happens. Similarly, communities still, even in industrial countries, perform a safety net function in, for example, Southern Europe, in Spain and Greece. When the financial crisis hit, again, a lot of people who were unemployed went back to live with their families, live in their village, because they had no other source of support. Now, the primary sort of aim of this book is to A, establish that the community is still very important, and B, in times of large technological change like the one we're undergoing, it shifts everything around. It shifts the relationship between the markets, between governments and the community completely. And at such times, it is extremely important for us to rethink the role of each of these for the new environment. Again, give you an example, technological change has changed the nature of the community. For example, it used to be that people used to spend a lot more time talking with each other. Nowadays, they spend a lot more time on the internet. That's sort of easy and facile, but that is true in a number of countries. But the broader point is technological change, globalization has changed the economic activities in country after country, has increased the premium to education. And in all this, it is extremely important to involve the community in actually helping people adjust to this technological change. And the primary point of the book is in far too many countries, the community is unable to do this. And as a result, you have a whole set of new movements, nationalist, populist nationalist movements, which are trying to essentially do what the community cannot. And the primary argument of the book is that if, in fact, we want to deal with the popular anger that we're seeing across the world, we want to deal with the movements that want to deglobalize the world, we need to go back to the local. And I want to emphasize in this book that, in a sense, the kind of model we want to go to, a world where globalization sits well with the community, is one where we essentially have inclusive localism. A lot more power in the community, but a lot more inclusion at the national level. and the book makes the case for that. So it's a book with a lot of history, a lot of examples, trying to bring sociology into economics, and also continuing the age-old relationship that economics has with politics. After all, the field was called political economy. So there's lots of politics, lots of economics, lots of examples, and third pillar hopefully will make you think. Thank you.